us another chance to make another change. And that change, it won't come easy, but we won't look the other way. So we stand together, footsteps fill the streets. With a love as strong as ever, we walk in peace. Afraid of nothing but silence. So we raise our voices. We raise our voices. We're justified. We're justified. We the people will not be denied. We're justified. We're justified. So we're speaking truth to power. 'Cause we know we're justified. Hey, hey, yo. Hey, hey, yo. Hey, hey, yo. Hey, hey, yo. Freedom is a right that can't be signed away. And we're never going back to the pain of yesterday. When being different was a crime, and those in need were left to bleed. We're justified. We're justified. We the people will not be denied. 'Cause we're justified. We're justified. So we're speaking truth to power. 'Cause we know we're justified. Every time we resist, we're justified. Every time we persist, we are justified. Every time we stand up, every time we speak out, we're justified.
Let us gather all together in the cold and in the heat. Make a vow that history's cruel lessons won't repeat. We will not stand idly by and watch our values die. When we heed the call for justice, we are praying with our feet. Hear our footsteps on the pavement, let them echo in the streets. Feel the longing in our hearts growing stronger with each beat. It's time to take a stand. We're marching hand in hand. When we heed the call for justice, we are praying with our feet. From the California coast to Selma's cruel concrete,
From the towers of New York City to the fields of Kansas wheat, wherever people are divided by justice that's one-sided. When our voices rise in protest, we are praying with our feet.
Hear our footsteps on the pavement, let them echo in the street. Feel the longing in our hearts growing stronger with each beat. It's time to take a stand. We're marching hand in hand. When our voices rise in protest, we are praying with our feet. The poor, the tired, the huddled masses yearning to breathe free.
The homeless and the helpless, renegades and refugees.
The soldiers coming home to their loved ones, oh so sweet. They all march side by side when they're praying with their feet. In the classroom, in the courtroom, the executive suite, the healing of our world awaits. Our task is incomplete. Our work we may not finish, but our passion won't diminish. When we work for freedom's promise, we are praying with our feet. Hear our footsteps on the pavement, let them echo in the street. Feel a longing in our hearts growing stronger with each beat. It's time to take a stand. We're marching hand in hand. When we work for freedom's promise, we are praying with our feet. Hear our footsteps on the pavement, let them echo in the street. Feel the longing in our hearts growing stronger with each beat. It's time to take a stand. We're marching hand in hand. When we work for freedom's promise, we are praying with our feet.
And when our voices rise in protest, we are praying with our feet.
And when we heed the call for justice, we are praying with our feet.
We stand on the earth, so we better stand for her together. We stand on the earth, so we better stand for her together. Stand up for Mother, stand up for each other. Stand up for Mother, stand up for each other. We were put in this paradise, it's our job to guard her life. We were put in this paradise, it's our job to guard her life. Stand up for Mother, stand up for each other. Stand up for Mother, stand up for each other. Oh.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Welcome to our Erev Shabbat service this beautiful Friday evening. You just heard some songs of social justice from first We're Justified by Stacy Bayer, then Rabbi Joe Black with Praying with Our Feet, and finally Stand Up, Chava Mirel. Wonderful to see you here. Wonderful to join with Rabbi Kupitz. Shalom, Rabbi.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Oop, there we go. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And it's wonderful to be with all of you on this social action Shabbat. Like to again welcome everybody who's with us. If any of you are joining us for the first time or second time or third time, but want more information about Temple Beth Israel, you can send us an email at tbi@tbipomona.org, or reach out to Judy Rose on Facebook, who's already posted a note in the chat on Facebook, and she would be happy to reach out to you after Shabbat and give you more information about Temple Beth Israel. I'm going to share my prayer book with all of you so that we can all literally be on the same page. And we're going to begin with Shalom Aleichem.
Sorry for the delay there. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. As we begin tonight's service, I just want to take a moment to express my gratitude to Lisa Block, who shared with me this beautiful guitar that I'm playing this evening, and hopefully will play for many years to come. Its debut, Takamine 12-string, lovingly restored by Henry over at the Folk Music Center. If you just to put in a pitch for the Folk Music Center, anybody who needs some work done on their instruments. But we're going to join together. Shalom Aleichem. Just got to get the Siddur back, because every time the screen moves, it covers up more stuff for me. I'm sorry, I know that it's no one's fault out there, but it's a problem if I can't see it, and that's what's happened just now. So let's try to do this again. I can't make it work. I think I'll just have to figure out some other way to see the Siddur, because it's not moving. It's stuck there. Oh no, let's see. I think I can handle this. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Bochem L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom,
Malachai Elyon Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shalom Aleichem Shalom Aleichem Malachei Hasharet Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh HaKadosh Baruch Hu Tzedchem L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachai Elyon Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shalom Aleichem Shalom Aleichem Malachei Hasharet Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh HaKadosh Baruch Hu
As we look at our Shabbat candles, and you can see them there burning behind Cantor Paul, as these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlikne shel Shabbat.
In a moment, we will continue with Lecha Dodi as we welcome the Shabbat presence into our homes and our hearts. But first, we take a moment to reflect on the week, to go back to last Shabbat, to spend a moment on each day, on its challenges and on its blessings. So we take a deep breath and take a few moments for reflection. We will sing together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. When we get to verse 9, you can turn yourself toward the entrance to your home and symbolically welcome the Shabbat presence and that nishama yetera, that extra soulfulness that travels with us on Shabbat into your heart and into your home.
Lechadoni likrat kalai alalai 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 b'nei Shabbat lekabelah Lechadoni likrat kalai alalai 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 b'nei Shabbat lekabelah Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echan Ishmeanu El Hamilchan Adonai Echan Ushmo Echan L'Shemul Tiferet Velid Hilah L'Chadoni Likrat Kalai Alalai 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 B'nei Shabbat Nekabelah L'Chadoni Likrat Kalai Alalai 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 B'nei Shabbat Nekabelah Likrat Shabbat Lechu v'nelcha Ki mekor habracha Merosh mikedem Nisucha Sod maaseh b'makshvat chilah Lechadoni likrat kalai alalai 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabelah Lechadoni likrat kalai alalai 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabelah Hitoreri Hitoreri Kiva Ore Kumi Ori Uri Uri Shira Beri Kavod Adonai Alaich Nigla Lechadoni Likrat Kalai Alalai 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 B'nei Shabbat Nekabelah Lechadoni Likrat Kalai Alalai 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 B'nei Shabbat Nekabelah Boi v'shalom Ateret bala Gam simcha uvtzola Toch emunei Am segula Boi chala Boi chala Lechadoni likrat kalai alalai 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabelah Lechadoni likrat kalai alalai 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabelah.
We will continue with Chatzi Kaddish. I'm going to ask Molly Miller to turn on her camera and her microphone.
Hi.
Hi, Molly. Please lead us in Chatzi Kaddish.
Yikadav, Yikadash, Shemei Rabbah. Ve'amal divrak mirate ve'amrik malite ve'hayahon yom ehon uvkayediko be'Yisrael Bagelah, Bagelah, Uvizman Kariv, Imeru, Amen. Yehi Shemei Rabbah Mivarak, Lahum Alei Omaya, Yeparak, Yeparak, Yeshabbat, Ar Viet Roma, Viet Nase, Viet Hadar, Viet Tale, Viet Talal, Shemei de Kudasha, Bariku, Le'ela Min Kol Birota, Yishimrata, Tush Behata Venet, Temata, Ta'amira, Imeru, Amen.
I invite folks to rise in body or in spirit for Baruch Hu, our call to prayer. And Molly, if you can just read Baruch Hu first in Hebrew and then in English, just reading.
Baruch et Adonai Havarach. Baruch Adonai Havarach Leolam Va'ed. Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever.
Thank you, Molly.
La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. Baruch hu et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach, Hamevorach leolam vaed. Hamevorach, Hamevorach leolam vaed.
We continue with the last three lines in the Hebrew on the bottom of page 30.
El chai v'kayam, tamili v'chaleinu le'olam va'en, Baruch atah Adonai, Hamaril, Aravim.
Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us, and the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form?
Baruch atah Adonai, Oelamo Yisrael.
Connect ourselves to the Holy One and all that exist. Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Continue with Ve'ahavta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha Hayom al levavecha, veshinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, uvlechtecha v'derech, uvshochbecha, uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot, beinenecha, Uchtabtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai vitem keroshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem Meretz Mitzrayim, Liot Lachem Lelohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem Emet.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot. That wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there, except by joining hands and marching together.
Mi kamocha bailim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, norati lo osei feleh. Mi kamocha bailim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, norati lo osei feleh. Malchutcha ra'uvanecha, bokeyam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze'eli, ze'eli, anu. Ve'amru Adonai, imloch le'olam va'ed. Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, norati lo osei feleh. Norati lo osei feleh. Norati lo osei feleh. Emar, Kifadar Adonai et Yaakov, Ugalo meyad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Israel.
We continue with Hashkivenu and the English text that's at the top of the page on your screen, as we ask God to watch over us and to protect us.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, Ashkivenu, Shalom, Ve'ha'amidenu, Shomrenu Lechayim, Ufros Aleinu, Sukkot Shlomecha, Ashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Ashkivenu, Shalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
We give thanks for Shabbat and join in the words of Vishamru.
Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasod et HaShabbat Lidorotam berit olam Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael Oti leolam Oti leolam Oti Leolam Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasod et HaShabbat Lidorotam berit olam Kisheishet yamim Asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz ve'shamru v'nei Yisrael et hashabat lasod et hashabat lidorotam berit olam Uve'yom hashvi Shabbat v'inafash Shabbat v'inafash Shabbat v'inafash Ve'shamru l'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasod et HaShabbat Lidorotam berit olam.
We rise in body or in spirit, create some holy space around us as we begin to move into our tefillah, our Amidah prayer. We'll sing this introductory verse and then the first three blessings together. Then we'll have a little time for private reflection and a musical offering by Dr. Randy Polivoy.
Oh, 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 Adonai, Sefatai Tivta, Ufiagi, Tehilatecha, Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'konei Hakol V'zocher Chastei Avot Ve'imahot U'mevii Geula V'levnehem Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai B'chayei HaKol atah Rav Lehoshia Morid Hatal Mechalkel Chaim B'chesed Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim V'rofech Cholim Umatir Asurim Umkayem Emunato L'shenei Afar Micha Mocha Bal Gevurot Umidom Elach Melech Meimid Umchayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman Atala HaChayot HaKol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh HaKol.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch Uruk Shemo.
Ha'el HaKadosh.
Amen.
Please take a moment for silent prayer, the text of your own heart.
Good evening and Shabbat Shalom to everybody out there.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom, Rabbi. With the theme of tonight's service being social action, I racked my brain to find something musically appropriate. So I settled on the Hasidic melody V'taher Lebeinu. The text of the song in English is, it's quite simple, purify our hearts to serve you in truth, with the word serve being the operative word here, serving. This is a very familiar song to most of you. We've highlighted it many times at TBI, and I encourage you to sing along, clap along, chime in when appropriate. The Hebrew is simply V'taher lebeinu le'ovdecha be'emet. And the middle section is simply la la la, or any one syllable sound that you would like to chime in on. This is V'taher lebeinu, Hasidic melody. and sweet. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thanks, Randy. I would like to move into our presentation with our Social Action Committee. So social action and social justice are embedded right into the core of Jewish life. We're reminded over and over again that we were strangers in the land of Egypt. Do not oppress the stranger, love the stranger, treat the stranger as the citizen, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. We are commanded to engage in acts of chesed, of loving kindness toward one another, toward our neighbors. And we are commanded to tzedek tzedek tirdof, to pursue justice, to make the world a more just place. All of those things are ways in which we help pursue healing in our world and bring our world a little bit closer to wholeness. I'd like to call upon Janine Mann to say a few words about those who will be sharing from our partner organizations this evening.
Thank you so much, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom and welcome to the Social Action Shabbat service. We're so grateful that you are here tonight. The Social Action Committee, as you know, typically does so many activities throughout the year in person. And we are so lucky that throughout the pandemic, we've been able to continue to do many of our programs. Tonight, we are honoring two of our partnering organizations, Uncommon Good and Inland Valley Hope Partners. Tonight with us is Nancy Minty, who is the executive director of Uncommon Good. She founded the organization 21 years ago, and you probably recognize their work as you drive into TBI and drive past our farm on our property. And our second speaker is Isaac Vega, who is the Food Security Director of Inland Valley Hope Partners, who provides a tremendous number of essential services to our community. We are so grateful you're both here tonight, and thank you so much for being part of our community, all the work that you do, and for sharing a little bit about what you do tonight. Nancy, would you like to unmute yourself?
Okay, and there you go. All right, we can't hear you yet, Nancy. I'm not sure. You might not have the right microphone turned on there.
How about
now? We can hear you perfectly.
Okay, great. Well, hello, dear TBI partners, and thank you so much for inviting me to your beautiful Shabbat service. And also, just a huge thank you for the past 7 years in which you've shared your property with us to help us feed the hungry by growing beautiful food. It's been a tremendous gift to us and to those that we serve. And I'd like to include Jerry Fenning and Vicki Hollander in that thank you, because they also let us farm in the yard of their home. So they're kind of an extension of the TBI garden. I'd like to also thank those of you who are our customers. Our funders require us to sell a portion of what we grow so that we're not just begging for every last dime for the program, but we're, pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps, So those of you who buy our food are helping us demonstrate that. And of course, we appreciate those of you also who are generous donors. And most recently, I'd like to say a big thank you to Emma Lord Lewis of TBI for joining our board of directors. We're just thrilled to have a board member from your beautiful congregation. I'd like to say just a few words about your farmer. The man who takes care of the farm plot on your property is Miguel Bonilla, and he is 66 years old. And in addition to taking care of your farm, he also takes care of the one that we've put in at San Antonio High School and at Claremont High School, and also at Claremont Presbyterian Church. So he's a busy man. And he's the father of two students who went through our education program. And his son is now a doctor. He's the first doctor that has come out of our program. And we're so very, very proud of him. He's doing his residency up in the Bay Area now. And once Miguel's son went to medical school, that encouraged others of our students to also begin to pursue a pre-med path. And right now I'm preparing the application for a young woman from our program who will be our first female doctor when she gets to medical school. And she's a wonderful, wonderful young woman. She, very hardworking immigrant family. She worked her way through UCI, and she's also a cancer survivor in addition to everything else, and a COVID survivor, and still was able to excel in school and to be a candidate now for medical school. And we have others in the pipeline, and all of them want to return to their communities to serve as family doctors once they graduate. So it's your farmer is really a remarkable man to have started all of this wonderful trend in our program. And as you all know, we kept farming through the pandemic, and we kept all of our services going through the pandemic. And we added a big food pantry to the food that we're giving away now. We're giving away not only what we grow and glean, but also non-perishable food to the hungry. We also created a family emergency fund for all the families that were struggling. And we've given away almost almost $500,000 to families in distress in this region. And we also saw that, our family's mental health was plummeting. Even in good times, mental health services are very, very hard to come by for our community. And things really came to a critical point during the pandemic. Two of the kids in our program attempted suicide, and so we knew we had to do more. We had to do something in addition. And so what we've done is we've brought, for the first time to the United States, a remarkable global mental health pilot program that's designed to bring mental health services into very low income communities. And we're the first site now in the United States to begin this program. And I again have to mention Jerry Fenning and Vicki Hollander, because their wonderful son, who is also a doctor, Reese, was a part of our team that put together the strategy to bring this program into our community. So once again, we're very grateful to you at TBI and to Jerry and Vicki and their family. So we're currently feeding 1,000 parents and students a month, and also an additional 300 homeless people a month, because we're partnering with two organizations that have feeding programs for the homeless. So your produce is benefiting people far and wide. With all of our sites together, we're producing 22 tons of organic produce a year now. And we have 12 different land partners, farm partners, and 105 gleaning partners. So we're very, very blessed to have so many generous people contributing to what we're able to do. We've also created a program we're trying to get funding for with Cal Poly Pomona called Cocina Ancestral, or the Ancestors Kitchen. And what this program is using our farm produce to help our families reconnect with their indigenous roots and the healthier plant-based diets of their homelands. And so what we will be doing will be exploring the history and culture of our families' native countries and the diet of those countries, and then incorporating the produce into healthy cooking classes and into cooking traditional dishes, and some of them in a healthier way. So we're very excited about that program and hoping that funding will come through for us this year. If it does, we'll let you know. I also wanted to mention a few other ways if people wanted to get more involved with us. In the fall, we're going to be going back to our in-person mentoring and tutoring of our students. So if any of you, have would like to work with a child or a student and tutor or mentor, be sure to let us know. We also, if any of you are interested in gardening, Miguel is a wonderful farmer, but he is 66 years old and is farming 4 different properties and could really use a hand out there. So if there was a little TBI gardening committee that would want to help him maintain that plot, that would be very, very welcome. I'd also like to give a shout out to your Florencia, because she and the children of TBI created the original scarecrows for not only that property, but also some of the other properties that we're farming. And my farmers told me recently, Nancy, the scarecrows are falling apart now, and we need 8 more. We need 8 scarecrows because we put little signs on them that explain to people what the garden partnerships are and how we're feeding the hungry through them. And also the scarecrows are actually very effective at keeping the birds away from eating the little seedlings. So if Florencia or anyone else at TBI and the children of TBI would be interested in that project, it would be fun to do that with you again. We're also struggling a bit because of the pandemic. Many of our partners who had offered us space to do our programming in the past are closed down this summer, the Claremont colleges and the Methodist Church and so on. And so we've got some summer camps planned for our kids. We've got a week that's a doctor camp to introduce them to medicine. We have a transition to college camp for a week for our high school seniors. And we have another really fun one, a Dungeon and Dragons camp. And for those of you who are nerds like me, you'll know that that's a online kind of fantasy game, but we're using it to make learning fun for kids. And we're embedding lessons in reading and writing and math and the physical sciences, social sciences, and public speaking into the game playing. And the kids love it. And they don't even realize they're learning stuff, but they just love it because it's so fun. But I don't know if, if TBI has any space that might be available for one of our camps this summer. And if so, I'd love to talk to you about that. Of course, we're all insured and, and all of that. And, but it would be lovely to, be able to bring some of that to the campus if that, is something that you have capacity for. And then I'd like to close by just mentioning that we're going to be donating one of our produce baskets to your upcoming online auction. So if you haven't had a chance to try our produce, be sure and bid on the auction and support TBI and give yourself a treat. So I'll stop there and thank you again so much for letting me be with you tonight and to be a part of this beautiful, beautiful service. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nancy. And the remarkable work of Uncommon Good in working in this community and really transforming lives in so many ways. Really inspiring. So thank you so much. And for those who would like to get more involved with Uncommon Good, please feel free to reach out to Uncommon Good and to Nancy at their office, or reach out to me and I'll put you in touch and help you get connected to their remarkable work. I'd like to ask Isaac Vega from Inland Valley Hope Partners to share a little bit about the work of IVHP.
Hi, good afternoon, evening. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, hi Isaac.
How you doing? Thanks for having me here. Your beautiful service for tonight. My name is Isaac Vega and I work for Inland Valley Hope Partners. I've been with the company for 22 years and I've seen it, grow and the need grow and go down a little bit. But as far as Inland Valley Hope Partners, we do distribute food to low-income families and homeless individuals. We service about 2,600 individuals every month from our 7 locations. We have 7 pantries that we distribute food from. We have one in Ontario, which is our main distribution site. It has a warehouse as well. We have 2 locations in Pomona, one in Claremont, one in San Dimas, And then we have a once a month distribution in the city of Upland and Chino. We also recently, with the pandemic going on, we did see kind of our numbers fluctuate a little bit. In the beginning, they were extremely high. We had a lot of people coming to the pantries, especially when a lot of those grocery stores ran out of food. So, but we were able to meet the demand, and now that a lot of these clients are receiving stimulus money and checks from the IRS, stuff like that, we've seen kind of a decline in clients. And that's usually normal around this time. We'll see fewer clients, but what we reached out to is our senior population. We've had special hours for them to come in, especially at our beta location. Our normal hours are usually from 9 to 3, but we've opened a half hour early for seniors from 8:30 to 9. So if you know any seniors that are in need of food assistance, they can come down to our beta center in Pomona. So we also do have a shelter program on site for Inland Valley Hope Partners, aside from the food security program. That shelter has about 9 rooms, and it shelters about 16 to 18 people each month. And they're allowed to stay it's a 30 to 90 day program. So they'll come in, everything is provided for them, food, the shelter, counseling is also provided for them. Childcare is also provided. Vouchers to the farmers market is provided for them, so they can have access to fresh produce and vegetables. And let's see. And we also do have a rapid rehousing and heat program. And what that allows is families that are homeless can get rapid rehousing services into a unit much faster than our traditional rental assistance program. And then we also did work with Bridges to Home. So when a client moved into their new place, they were also furnished with everything that needed to go into the household, with refrigerator, furniture, beds, linen, clothes if needed, stuff like that. So yeah, and then we also do have a school supply giveaway each year that we get to the children that come through our food programs. And also, I just want to say thank you to Temple Beth Israel. You guys have been, since I've been here for 22 years, you guys have always been a big supporter of the organization. You've always helped us with a food drive during the high holy days. And I believe it's Mitzvah Day when the volunteers come out and volunteer at our locations and help clean up and stock and store. And that's always been wonderful to have you guys here. So,
thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Isaac. And I would just say that just so that our congregants know, Isaac mentioned our High Holy Day food drive, and actually the food that's our big drive. And then we collect food all year long that goes to Inland Valley Hope Partners.
Right.
Also, if you are a congregant and you donate food to our hunger fund at Temple Beth Israel, that is money that gets donated by the temple to Inland Valley Hope Partners to help with hunger programs and things like that. And of course, we have opportunities to work with them. We've also had students through the years and adults who have volunteered at the pantries. And so if that's something that you'd be interested in doing, please contact Inland Valley Hope Partners so that we can make a connection and continue the deep work that Inland Valley Hope Partners does. Inland Valley Hope Partners was originally the Pomona Valley Council of Churches, and even though we didn't quite fit into that, we were founding members at Temple Beth Israel of that organization. And later on, as they came to understand themselves more as a community and interfaith organization, the name changed to Inland Valley Hope Partners. And so we fit into that a little bit, but we've been part of it a little better, but we've been part of Inland Valley Hope Partners since the very beginning. And so much appreciate your work, Isaac, and the work of everybody at IVHP in helping with food security and with housing and homelessness issues in our communities. And thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Evening. All right, we are now going to turn our prayers back to our service. And if you turn your thoughts to all of those in our community and outside in your life who are in need of healing, and there are so many in our broken world in need of healing of body, of mind, of spirit. Nancy talked about the mental health crisis that has been exacerbated by this pandemic and the challenges of so many with depression and anxiety. We hold all of those in need of blessing in our hearts and in our minds as we join in the words of Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
We ask for blessings upon Rebecca Gilman, Bela Pasternak, Hannah Fields Austin, Sue Tobak, Paula Steinbach, Rosalind Lefkowitz, Helen Weinfeld, Gabrielle Silton, Pam Poliakoff, Connie Shapiro, Kathy Blumenfeld, Gloria Austin, Caitlin Antrim, Judith Bosworth, Kathy Brewster, Stephanie Holland, Jennifer Rudin, Susan Brewer, Ed Ansell, Marion Snyders, Kimberly Zimmerman, Lori Snyder, Brad Holland, Isley Holland, Mike Klein, Beatrice Caden, Meg Silton, Henry Gerard, Kirby Perkins, Brenda Fang Gerard, Serena Postal, Bobby Kay, Marilyn Freeman, Robert Strober, Ava Bespris, Marilyn Lubarsky, Joe Kummerman, Shar Alpert, Carol Sage, Flo Cohen, Ira Quatcher, Ellery Einstein, Ken Mitchell, Patricia Kramer, Joey Kubel, Jeff Klein, Wesley Bogatz, Ann Hudson, and all of those in your heart, or those you've mentioned in the chat, or who we carry with us in our community.
Misha Berach Imotenu Mikor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We are going to go now to page 261. Paul, I'm doing this in reverse order just so that you know here, but we have a new month coming up in the Jewish calendar, the month of Sivan, which begins this coming week. And so we have a blessing for the new month.
Yehi ratzon milfanecha, Yehi ratzon milfanecha, Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, שתקדש עלינו את החודש הבא לטובה ולברכה. ותיתן לנו חיים ארוכים, חיים של שלום, חיים של פרנסה, חיים שתהא בנו אהבת תורה, ביראת שמיים, חיינו שימלאו משאלות, ליבנו לטובה. Amen.
Our God and God of our ancestors, may the new month bring us goodness and blessing. May we have long life, peace, prosperity, a life exalted by love of Torah and reverence for the divine, a life in which the longings of our hearts are fulfilled for good.
Rosh Chodesh Sivan Yiyeh V'yom Revi.
The new month of Sivan will begin on Wednesday. We are also counting the Omer, which we will do until Shavuot and have been doing since Passover. And if you join us tomorrow night at Havdalah or Monday night or Wednesday night at our Zoom Siyum, you can count the Omer with us then as well. I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer.
הנני מוכן, מוכן ומזומן לקיים מצוות עשה של ספירת העומר. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר הנשנו במצוותיו וציוונו על ספירת העומר.
Our praise to the Holy One of Blessing, who makes us holy with mitzvot, commanding us to count the Omer.
היום 41 יום שהם 5 שבועות ו6 ימים לעומר.
Today is the 41st day, which is 5 weeks and 6 days of the Omer. Now I'd like to call upon Janine Mann to share some announcements with all of you.
Thank you, Rabbi. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, we thank you so much for being with us tonight on this very special Social Actions Shabbat. Many thanks to Rabbi Kupitz, Cantor Bush, Randy Polevoy for making this such a fantastic service. We also thank our wonderful speakers, Nancy Minty and Isaac Vega. Thank you so much for all the work that you do in our community and for the difference that you make in so many lives. I would also like to thank our fantastic Social Action Shabbat. This is made up of a group of people who work very quietly behind the scenes to make many things happen. And I would particularly like to thank Phyllis Blackie and Harriet DiBasilio for arranging tonight's speakers and Shabbat service. A few updates and events coming up. Our annual congregational meeting will be held May 27th online. Please bring your own meal, Chinese food or otherwise. And we have some agenda items that we will need your vote and your participation to make happen. We look forward to seeing you then. Our online auction will start on May 17th. Included is a fantastic basket from Uncommon Good that you may bid on. We have also received a generous challenge grant from the Lewis family. And so I hope you will join us in meeting that grant and helping our congregation meet our goals. Please visit the website or visit the email blasts for more events. Shabbat Shalom and have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks, Janine. Shabbat Shalom. Whoop, my camera's off. Shabbat Shalom to you and your family as well. Just a few extra things to put out there. What Janine said last, I think, is really important. There's always lots of events coming up. So if you check your congregational email. It's where all the links are, all the things that are going on. I just want to add one thing, and then I'll let Cantor do a short announcement about his class. But that on May 21st, we are planning our first in-person worship service outside. About a week from now, you should be receiving more details about that service and exactly when reservations open. It will require reservations. We'll have limited capacity, but we hope that you'll endeavor to be with us. And hopefully it will be the one, we're going to test out things that Shabbat, and then we'll be scheduling more opportunities to be in person. Cantor Paul, Oi Karamba.
Oi Karamba is the spring class that I'm teaching as part of our Adult Jewish Learning Program. It begins this coming Wednesday, May 12th at 7:15 p.m., continuing for 3 sessions, and we'll be studying, reading, learning, and experiencing together the Jewish literature originally written in Spanish that comes out of the diaspora of Central and South America. We have not only a number of wonderful students already signed up, but we have some guest teachers who are really at the top of their field in this area, internationally renowned authors and teachers who, for some reason, I was able to attract to spend a little time with our TBI Adult Jewish Learning Group. So if you are interested, it's not too late, but I would appreciate it if you let the office know ASAP of your interest. If you want to let me know directly of your interest at cantor@tbipomona.org, I will send you the extra readings that I've asked our students who have already signed up to be familiar with before the first class, so we can really hit the ground caminar. So we hit the ground caminando, hit the ground running with this incredibly rich and rewarding study that we're going to be doing. So that's it. Check it out. Oi Karamba is available as an ebook and as a paperback book from Amazon, but like I said, I have the extra readings. Please contact me if you haven't already either received the email from me or are interested in joining our class.
Aleinu l'shabeach, we rise in body or in spirit.
Aleinu l'shabech l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשינו כגויי הרצון, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Our thoughts turn to those who have been important in our lives and have left this earth, those who have died in recent days or at this time in years past. We remember the recent deaths of David Tobias, husband of Virginia, Alicia Goldfarb, wife of Howard, Arnold Roth, husband of Shelley, and Jean Lambden. Remember the Yortzites, the anniversaries of the deaths of Julius Goldstein, Sid Mock, Alvin White, Hyman Chavin, Eva Elliott, Mildred Goldberg, William Hyman, Jeanette Immergluck, Eva Quatcher Elliott, Kate G. Levy, Patricia Milmere, Leo Buxbaum, Roy Katz, Rose Betty Kelber, Rhea Levis, Sydney Michelson, Aaron Salzman, Eugene Bass, Regina Beliak, Evelyn Bach, Richard Botwin, Alan Gershman, Maurice Spike Gingold, Eugene Klein, Morris Lenz, Helen McDonald, Daniel McNaughton, I. John Movich, Ida Watsky, David Berlant, Joseph Bogg, Alan Davis, Felix Greenthal, Isidore Ort, Jerome Reich, Janet Rose, Louise Hannah Silviera, Marvin Abrams, Edward Arndt, Jerome Askenas, Harry Buxbaum, Esther Chudikoff, William Bill Elhai, Lydia Gersh, Jeanette Hamblin, Belle Heisler, Laverne Jones, Maurice Mickelbank, George O'Brien, Samuel Pitt, Max Castleman, Riva Eisenberg, Esther June Grossman, Rose Katz, Jack King, Bertha Lubarsky, Rose Rizik, Sam Schumann. And of course, all of those who we carry in our hearts. Join in the words of Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'alma divrach hirute v'amlich malchute v'chayachon v'yomachon v'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael v'agalau v'izman kariv v'imru Amen.
Amen.
Yehei Shmei Rabbah nivrach l'olam u'lomei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shmei dukurusha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata da'amiram bi'alma v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Zichronam livracha. May their memories always be a blessing. We're going to close in a minute with Biado. Before we do, just a note, we will add to our Kaddish list for next week, Garrett Talve Hill, who is the son of Arava Talve, who was our Milamedet, our tutor for B'nai Mitzvah for so long, an important part of our TBI community. And you all received a notification that you're welcome to join that service tomorrow at 4 p.m., which will be broadcast from Temple Sinai of Palm Desert. And of course, our hearts are with Arava and her whole family at this unfathomable time as they mourn Garrett's death. We're going to conclude again with Biado, page 321.
Biado of Kidruchi Ve'edi shan ve'a'ira Ve'imruchi geviati Adonai li ve'lo ira Ve'imruchi geviati Adonai li ve'lo ira. My soul I give to you, my spirit in your care. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Hold me in your hand. Draw me near, I shall not fear. safely in your hand. Ve'ado of kiduchi, ve'ishan ve'a'ira, ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li ve'lo ira, ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li ve'lo ira.
If you have a cup of juice or wine, you can grab it so that you can join us in Kiddush. And here we go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu. Zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh, zecher letziat mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, v'kol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, Ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai v'kadesh ha-Shabbat. Chaim.
L'chaim. Little challah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thanks so much for being with us. We hope to see you soon. Lehitraot.
Good night, everybody. Shabbat Shalom.